Welcome home on another Sunday. We are so excited to be here with all of you.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
We have been doing a lot of things, and I'm sure you have too.
I don't know if you have all been as busy as we have been, but the last little while has been so incredibly busy for all of us. We, as all of you know, and many of you saw the pictures, we were able to go down to Mexico, which was in this environment. It was exciting to kind of be able to travel again, and so we were able to go down to Mexico and visit our Yucatan vanilla bean plantation and farmers and partner there, which was so fun.
It was amazing.
It was a wonderful time. We were there with family. We spent Christmas, down in the tropics, which was absolutely beautiful and wonderful with a lot of wonderful people. So it has been a very busy last couple of months, and we are so glad to finally be back with all of you here for our 8th vanilla extract making party.
Yes.
So let's see who we got with us. I love the beginning because everyone always says where they're from. Hello, Peggy. Hi, Mary from Colorado. Lori. Hello, Lori. So good to see you. A warm hello. Well, a warm hello back to you.
I wish it was warm.
Seriously. It's very cold here. We have Hudson Falls, New York. Linda joining us. Nancy from Southeastern Shoreline, Connecticut. We've got Rhonda from New York.
Kristen from California.
We've got so many people. Doreen from Connecticut. Robin says hi. I'm assuming that's a hi and you're not from Hawaii. But if you are from Hawaii, aloha. Robin. We've got Oklahoma. We've got North Carolina. Chelsea. Hello there. Debbie from Oklahoma. We've got Virginia. Oh my gosh, look at all of you that are just jumping in. It is so fun. We love it. We're back.
I know.
It's extract making time. So much fun. So we always try, we spend about an hour with you when we do these shows, and we try to just like fill it with as much information as we can to kind of get right into some tips that are helpful as we're making extracts. It is our 1-year anniversary from our first ever vanilla extract making party.
That's right.
Can you believe that? It has been 1 year. It was January 31st last year that we had our first live event. We went back and watched it, and it's so interesting because we were celebrating 15,000 members in our group January 31st last year when we had our very first vanilla extract making party. Today we just celebrated and gave away free beans to Bambi for our 56,000th member.
It's crazy.
Of our group, and we're up to like 60-something thousand followers of our Facebook page. Like, you just keep growing and growing and growing, and it's just so exciting to watch and be a part of it.
But everyone is still so very sweet. I call January our sweet month because we had more donations given to members. We had so many people emailing us saying they wanted to donate beans to another member in the group for one reason or another. I don't know how many we had. It was just so many.
We lost count.
I don't think we counted. It was just like one after another. Really, you guys are sweet.
We, as the group has grown, it's just become sweeter. And so, we kept every day, we were getting emails from someone who said, hey, I don't know this person in the group, but can I send her free beans? How do I do that? So we would do our best to try to set up a system to get it all to kind of work. And you just keep surprising us with how sweet and how great you all are. So we love our little group here on Facebook. We really think that you are the nicest people on Facebook. We don't know how we got so lucky to have you all in our group and to get to associate with you about something so fun that we're all kind of learning together. As all of you know, we started our extract journey in 2016 is when Jill and her friends in this kitchen made their very first extract. And since then, we've learned a lot. And all we're doing is just trying to do our best to share best practices and the best information and to provide great beans and to just be very helpful in terms of setting you up so that you can have successful extracts every time you make them. So thanks for joining us and thanks for the journey. It has been a just crazy busy year, and it's just been so fun to meet all of you and associate with you in so many different ways. So thank you very much. Our group keeps growing. It looks like we've got a lot of people that are checking in here. Gary from South Carolina. Good to have Gary and Patty. It's just so good to spend some time with you. Thanks for taking like an hour out of your schedule today on a Sunday afternoon to make a few extracts. So we got a full lineup today. Let's jump in.
Okay.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay, we got lots of stuff going on. So number one, these are the things that we're going to do in this extract making party. So one, it's been a year since we made our very first extracts with some of our very first members. It's time to do taste testing. And so we're going to taste test very quickly all of these and talk about how they've done. It's been a year. So we hope that there are a lot of you out there that started making your extracts when we did our very first live about a year ago, and you're doing the exact same thing. It's time to like reap the rewards.
Or if you're brand new, this is your time to start.
Or it's your time to begin. And we're going to make a couple extracts in this show as well. So we're going to review the ones that we made from a year ago, how they're doing. We're going to very briefly talk about what to do with our vanilla beans, because assuming that these are done, we may leave the beans in, we may take them out, and then what do you do with them? We're going to talk about that.
Yep.
Jill is going to make a blueberry buckle vanilla extract.
From one of our very own members, Michelle Pagetta. It's her recipe, so I can't wait to try it.
So if you go to our extract making blog, I don't think we've even added it to the index yet because it's brand new.
Nope, it's in there.
But it's in the blog, but it's not on the index page. So if you search for blueberry buckle, it should come up on our website if you want to follow along. We're going to make that extract today. We're announcing our winner of Free Beans for Kind Words, the monthly giveaway that we do, or the weekly giveaway every Friday. We had I think almost 300 comments this week of people nominating and talking about other people.
So many.
It just keeps growing and growing, and we love those nominations. We're going to discuss, at your request, we've had so many of you say, what is the difference between cognac and brandy, and which one is best for vanilla extract? And so we have been researching cognac and brandy and the differences, and we are going to make our first ever vanilla extract with either a cognac or a brandy. We're not sure yet. You'll have to stay tuned and wait and find out. How's that for high drama? And then, of course, we wanted to say thank you to our top 10 contributors in our group for the last 28 days. And so like we do in every show, we're going to be announcing 10 people at the end who are all getting free vanilla beans for being the top 10 contributors in our group over the last 28 days. It's a list that Facebook puts together. We don't. We just print it out, and that group all gets free beans. So we just couldn't do it without great members that are so helpful and kind to everyone. So we always want to recognize those that are really contributing a lot in our group. So thank you for that. So with that being said, is it time?
Yes.
Let's jump in, shall we?
Let's start. Okay, so let's review. This is our Carol's Willis Fortune.
Carol Stormer. Carol, I think you're with us today. I hope so. We were chatting just on Facebook the other day through some comments. We love Carol. And Carol named this extract. When we very first started, we said, hey, would you guys share some of your extract recipes and come up with a name for them? Carol named this extract after her sweet mother, called Willis Fortune. And she dedicated it to her because of its simplicity.
That's right. So this is made with Madagascar beans, Kettle One vodka, and the beans are cut. So we cut the beans in half, put them in here with vodka and Madagascar beans. Now, we're going to taste test this, and for time's sake, we've already added it, but we just added a little bit of vanilla in here, and then maybe a couple teaspoons of milk, and then we just stir it up with our little spoon here, and it's ready to do a little taste test.
So, we always talk about in our group, there is a science to extract making, but it's also a craft. And really, the right answer of any extract, it's totally up to the user in terms of whether or not you think it's ready or not. We could do like some sort of scientific analysis and come to the conclusion that this is ready for like commercial use or whatever, and make sure that it's absolutely perfect. But for at-home extract making, it's all about the cook. It's all about what you want. And so we're going to give you our opinions. So the point with taste testing, putting a drop of extract in the milk and stirring it and doing some taste test, do that a lot. If you like how it tastes and you're getting more vanilla than alcohol, then it's probably ready to use. If you want to wait and go another 6 months to get even more sweetness, if you wait another 6 months, you're going to get even more sweetness. If you wait another year, you're going to get even more sweetness.
It gets better.
If you add more beans, you're going to get even more sweetness. Now, what's the perfect extract being ready summary? It just depends. So for us, we just like to get more vanilla than booze. Right? That's sort of our general litmus test. So here we go. So we're going to give you our opinion. You guys decide on your own what you like.
Well, let's smell it first. I always like to do that.
Yes.
It's definitely more vanilla than alcohol.
Oh my heavens.
Isn't it? I don't smell a lot of vodka in that.
For you first-time makers, vodka, a decent vodka, Smirnoff, a Svedka, a decent vodka, and Madagascar vanilla beans is such a just great way to begin. It's classic. So this, it's a year old this week, smells amazing.
Yep.
How does it taste? Here we go. The big moment. Let's see. Is it perfect?
It's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
It's good.
Carol, we love you. And that is worth a year.
Willa's Fortune is ready to go.
So we're going to keep it. We're actually going to start using this in our kitchen. It's got Carol's name on it, Willa's Fortune. Every time we use it, we'll be thinking of you and your sweet mom, Willa, Carol. So thank you for sharing that with us. It's a wonderful extract. It's ready to go.
It is.
Perfect. Next one.
This is our other one that we did that was also with vodka, Madagascar with Grey Goose vodka, and we call this the Therese.
The Therese, after Therese DeCarlo Bach, who is with us on Facebook quite a bit. She's also very active on Instagram at Vanilla Pura. We see her a lot there. She's posted these beautiful pictures lately of the sunsets around her home, and it's just gorgeous. So
she's been with us from
the very beginning. But this is a good whole bean versus Carol's, which were sliced beans.
Yes.
Both a year old.
Both of them a year old. Sliced for this one. Whole for this one. You know, it was kind of easier for this bottle anyways. It's longer. We just slide the beans in there. It was just kind of an easier thing to do. So let's try this one and see if there's a difference between these sliced beans and these.
Let's smell it first if we could. I'd like to smell this one. Yeah, let's see. So there's still a little more alcohol in this one. Carol's is a darker.
Just a little bit.
There's definitely more pronounced vanilla that's coming through Carol's than the Therese. And let's see how it tastes. I'm assuming the taste, well, you tell me. You like it? Jill says ready. Ready to go.
Ready
so if Jill says ready, it's ready. It's wonderful. Now, there's a bite. There's a bite. So I'm picking up still a little bit of alcohol in that. There's a little bit more of a bite in this one than in Carol's, and so it tastes great. There's definitely a lot of vanilla coming through, but I would probably put the cap on the Therese, and me personally, I would probably wait another month or two and try this one again to see if I could soften it.
Well, I just wonder if he didn't have the other one first, and he would have known the difference.
Which is totally possible, right? That's the problem when you have so many, then everything's relative to the one you just tried.
That's right.
But they're both wonderful. The reason we keep the beans whole, though, is it gives you lots of options to use the beans when you're done. So they're whole beans, so you can make the caviar, the vanilla sugar, the paste, all those other things. Where if you slice them, it's a little harder to use them after the extract's done. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. Okay, which one is this?
This is the Paul Gingrich.
The Gingrich. All of you know the Gingrich, right? Because he did the sous vide method.
And this is not a year old. We actually made this 5 months ago. But we did it in the sous vide, so the process was sped up a little bit.
Yeah.
And we tried it, a month after?
We tried a month after. It was still kind of strong. 2 months. At 3 months, it was really good.
Yeah, so now we're at 5. Let's see what it's like.
Let's give it a try. Now, this is a bourbon, as you'll recall. So it's a Maker's Mark bourbon with, I believe it was Madagascar beans. How is that? Let me smell it first again. I didn't get a chance to. Let's see.
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting.
No. This is good. Let's see. Whoops, I dropped some on me.
Don't waste.
Oh, that smells wonderful. So bourbon, as you all know, is very strong, and so I'm still getting some of the bourbon that comes through there. But if you like the taste of bourbon, it's okay, right? So let's.
What do you think? I think it's good.
I think it's really good. So if you like bourbon and you like bourbon extract, you definitely taste the difference. You get the smokiness of the bourbon that's coming through. So you can definitely get it. I smell it, I taste it, but I like it because the point of using a bourbon and an extract is to get both the sweet and the smoky.
And the smoky, you have a little more going on there.
Yep, and so
just the pure vodka.
One of the things that we actually like some of our bourbon extracts for is if you're searing proteins, if you're barbecuing, if you have like a salmon and you put just a little splash of bourbon vanilla extract on the salmon as you're barbecuing it, it is amazing. Or if you're searing something and you put a little splash of that bourbon vanilla extract, it is absolutely wonderful when you use it with proteins. So that is great. So the Gingrich, what would we say?
I think it's ready.
It's ready? You'd say it's ready?
Sous vide. Yeah, I do.
I'd say it's ready. I think that you're going to taste still a lot of bourbon in there. If you like bourbon, you're going to love it. If you want the bourbon to get pushed back a little more, you might want to put the cap on that and wait another 6 months. That's what I would say.
Oh, I think it's good.
I'm the grumpy judge today. It's like American Idol for vanilla extracts, and I'm like being Simon. But anyway, that's my opinion. I flatter myself saying I'm Simon, right? Like that's, yeah, all right. You're not going to Hollywood just yet. Okay, next one.
Okay, we have, this is is our, we call it the Ramona.
Oh, Ramona Wysong. We love you, Ramona. I think Ramona was like member number 4.
I think so.
And as soon as Ramona joined our group a year and a half ago, she immediately started telling everybody about Buffalo Trace bourbon.
She loves Buffalo Trace bourbon.
And we had never heard of it because in Utah we can't get it.
They don't sell it here, yeah.
Yes, and so
we actually had to, when we had some friends in Vegas, we had them pick it up for us so we could try the Buffalo Trace bourbon, and she's right, it's good.
It is absolutely one of the best bourbons to use for vanilla extract because it is just so naturally sweet. The Buffalo Trace, the Woodford Reserve, those are our favorites. Let's give it a try here. So this is just bourbon.
This is Buffalo Trace bourbon, and the beans are cut.
The beans are cut. They're Madagascar beans.
Ooh.
And it's been sitting for a year.
That's caramely.
Wow. Oh my heavens, Ramona. Ramona wasn't joking. That Buffalo Trace. It's caramely. That's exactly what it is. I'm not picking up any of the smokiness of bourbon.
I love the caramel, but it definitely needs a little longer.
Ooh, there's that bourbon bite. Definitely needs a little longer.
I would wait a few more months, try it again, see what it tastes like.
I definitely put the cap on and maybe wait another month or two, but I'll tell you right now that on the nose, which is indicative of what's to come.
Yes.
Because on the nose, that is one of the sweetest, creamiest smelling vanilla extracts I think we've ever had. I mean, and it smells different than the Buffalo Trace bourbon by itself. Caramel is what comes out first. So, Ramona, I think you're spot on. I think that Buffalo Trace bourbon for vanilla extract is going to be amazing.
Somebody asked about the oak blocks.
Yes.
So you put those in.
Thank you for bringing that up. So we have so many things that we're talking about in this episode. We're not going to get too deep into oak blocks, but yes, oak blocks are perfect for something that is still too strong with alcohol. You drop them in. They're like a centimeter cube. You can go to our YouTube channel or search, and you'll see kind of the depiction, the video, and everything on how they're used. But in the case of this, you could absolutely put in oak blocks, and it will soften the taste of the alcohol over 2 weeks. Here's an interesting little thing. I'll give you a kind of insight into what we're going to talk about when we do oak blocks later. Inside of oak, especially in American oak, it contains vanillin, the same chemical compound that exists in vanilla beans. And so oak is a great tool in vanilla extract because it has naturally some of the same chemical components that vanilla bean pods have in them as well. So it serves really well to sort of soften the medicinal alcohol taste. Now, I think in the case of the bourbon, it's so strong, oak is not going to change bourbon into vodka. And so it's still going to taste like bourbon when you're done, and so it'll still have a little bit of a bite, but it softens the bite quite a bit. So oak blocks could be really great for the Therese, especially. I don't know that it'll solve the problem right away for the Buffalo Trace, for Ramona's. I think it's going to take just a little more time with vanilla beans there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we answered your question. As Annie says, I believe it takes 18 to 24 months. You're right. We've had bourbon extract that is really good after a year, especially with Woodford Reserve. We've had some good experiences. But in this case, with the Buffalo Trace, I'd give it a little bit more time.
Well, and the sous vide obviously takes a little bit less time than that as well, because we're speeding up the process.
You use the sous vide, it does help a lot. Now, are we on our very last one?
This is Starlet's Cocoa Mocha.
This Starlet's Mocha recipe, we named it the Starlet. This was the very first recipe that our very dear friend, she helps us, within our group. She is one of the most talented people that we know, and we just love that she's our friend, and we get to talk to her occasionally and work with her a little bit, and that she's playing such an active role within our group. She is such a huge part of who we are. So Starlet, we just love you, and we're so glad that you're part of the family and that we get the chance to associate with you. So this was her invention, her extract.
She's a star.
She is her name is just befitting. So the Starlet, as you'll recall, was the vanilla beans, the cocoa nibs, and the coffee beans.
Yep, and then we had to take out the coffee beans and the cocoa nibs at different times. You're welcome to look up the Starlet on our website, and you can know the specifics there. But it's just got the vanilla beans in here, and I will admit, I have already tried this. I put it in my coffee a couple times. Oh my goodness, it's good. It's ready.
So good.
But I will let you try because you haven't.
I've been good. So you're going to get an honest first assessment from me. Jill's been slipping this in her coffee the last couple of weeks. It's she's told me it's
It's
delicious.
a treat. It just, oh my goodness. Wow, you can just get the hint of chocolate and coffee and vanilla. Two wonderful, three.
Oh my gosh. You could almost just pour it over milk and drop some ice cubes in there.
Or a little ice cream.
I mean, oh my gosh, Starlet, you hit it out of the park with this one. It is absolutely amazing. So search for the Starlet on our recipe blog, the vanilla mocha. There is so much going on in this. It's just, I don't know the word to describe it. It's
perfectly
divine.
comes together.
Perfect.
It's just, there's a lot of different components here, but everything just perfectly comes together. Starlet is very talented.
So Starlet, home run. This is cheers, Starlet, home run. Thank you for sharing your talents with us. That is a wonderful
thanks
extract.
for making my morning coffee that much better.
So that's a morning coffee. It's like a creamer, but can also be used in, for your vanilla extract in brownies and cookies.
Yeah.
Anything where you want like a richer, deeper chocolate, that's going to work.
Or just a hint
perfect.
of coffee.
Or just a hint of mocha or coffee.
It's not that strong. It's just a hint.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Starlet. Thanks to all of the initial 5 people who shared their talents with us and let us make extracts and in their name and sharing their ideas with the group. I can't believe it's been a year. All of you were like, I can't wait a year, that's so long. I can't believe how fast a year has gone by and these extracts are ready. And now what's fun is we've made so many, it's like we have a whole lineup for like the next 18 months of extracts that are going to be ready like every month with these different things that we've tried. So that's the way to do it. Now, we want to use Starlets now.
We're just going to make it easy. This is our French square bottle. I like to use this because it has the white neck. It's fairly easy to get stuff out of it.
It was 16 ounces, right?
This is a 16 ounce.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the beans out of here. There's no reason that they have to keep sitting in there. It's ready to go. So I'm just going to strain that out. And we forgot to tell you that
okay, you can stick your fingers in that one and get them out.
I'm going to do.
We'll just cheat.
Some of these. This is Starlet shared this with us. She ties her beans because she wants to keep the caviar intact. So this way, if she ties them, she can fit them into a shorter jar and still keep the caviar. So what are you going to do with these beans? All the beans in these jars, we are going to do something with them.
Everything.
We never
ever throw away. We should almost say that together. Never throw away beans. Use them. There's a million different uses, right?
There are. So this is one of our mother jars.
You like what she said? Yeah, one of our mother jars. This one's like 3 years old and it's got like a whole mixture of different beans in it. They all use different spirits. I think our primary spirit on this one is vodka.
If I add any into this, I add vodka, but a lot of my beans come from different spirits. So there might, like this one has vodka on it, but I'll put a little bit of bourbon beans in here. But if I have to refill it because I've used it, I will refill it with the original that I started with, which was vodka.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm just gonna dump those in my mother jar, and then I'm adding just that unique flavor to my very own jar. Now I've got a little bit of cocoa in there. I've got a little bit of mocha and all the other stuff I have going in there. But I'm creating just my own unique little blend.
So the mother jars, we've talked about it. Look on our site, Google mother jars. You'll see we've got videos on YouTube. It's just every mother jar is different. This one's 3 years old. Whenever we use it, you look at the mother jar video, you'll see how to use it.
That's right. So what do I do with the rest of these beans? I can put them all in my mother jar, or I can make vanilla sugar. I know you guys know how to make vanilla sugar because you're always talking about how you're filling those bags, right? It's super easy. I always have a bowl of it going. It's not hard. Go ahead and look. If you've never made it and you're wondering, go ahead and just put it in the search bar on our website, vanilla sugar. I'll take you right there. Or ask someone in the group because lots of people have lots of different opinions on how they make theirs. And it's fun to hear from everyone. You can also make vanilla powder. This is a way that you dry out your beans. You just put these beans on a cookie sheet, and I'll just put them in the oven at 150 for about an hour to an hour and a half. My house smells so good.
That's the best. You can just do it as an air freshener, even if you're not going to use them right away.
Yeah.
Just save some beans, throw them in the oven for 2 hours. Your house will smell like vanilla for like 2 days.
It's wonderful.
Wonderful.
And then you just grind those up in a coffee grinder, very, very fine. And you can use this in your baked goods. I'm actually, you probably can't see this, but I'm actually almost out, and this was full, 3 months ago. So when I have older beans, I'll just do that. Sometimes I'll do it before I have guests over, so my house smells really nice, and then I make powder later.
So many uses.
Yeah, so many.
Never throw out beans.
Nope.
That's the point.
The last thing is, if you want to just try and refill a bottle, you can do that. You can leave all the beans in here, fill it up again with alcohol, and then what we have found is just we take half the old beans, put them in our mother jar or whatever you decide to do, and then we put new beans in. So 50% of the old beans that have been in here, 50% of new beans, and then we just fill it up again and we start all over, and it goes in the back of my cupboard, and I have like this rolling thing of vanilla that's just, I know the back and the front, and it all comes forward.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chatter on the side of, can you do that? Can you get another round out of your vanilla beans? So if you're running like a commercial facility, no, the whole goal is that the first time you extract, you get every ounce of vanilla and the sweet stuff out of the beans, so there's really nothing left. When you're making it at home, and again, this is where craft versus science in a commercial lab are different. When we're making it at home, a year later, we know that Ramona's vanilla beans still have a lot of goodness in them when we're done, or Teresa's or Carol's this one's so ready to go. She's done. These beans still have a lot of good in them because we haven't put them through like a commercial press and a heating or cold press, whatever. We haven't done any of that to these. So in our experience, when we make them at home, you can get another round of extract. You do have to add some new beans, and usually it's about 50% fewer new beans to the bottle than the old. And in our experience, you can have a very nice extract. Is it scientific, commercially perfect? No. Does it work? Yeah, we've done it. And so it absolutely does work. We like it. So in the case of like Carol's, that's exactly what we could do.
Yeah.
We'd leave all those beans in there. We'd add a half an ounce of new beans. We'd let them sit for another year. And so it's like we got 50% off our next extract because we only needed 50% as many beans the second time around.
It saves you money.
Saves money.
Right?
So,
like vanilla beans are not cheap.
now, will it work as well with bourbon? It might be a little harder because bourbon's a little stronger. Certainly we've had a lot of success doing that with vodka, with the stronger spirits, maybe not as much. So, there we go. There's our review. It's like
just like that.
time machine, back in time, years past, here we are.
If you're just starting, this could be you in 1 year.
This could be you in 1 year.
That's right. And if you do a sous vide, this could be you in 4 or 5 months.
Totally. And
or even less if you do vodka.
And a year goes by so fast. I can't believe how quickly that it just passes. So, okay, speaking of a year, one of the things that we started doing about a year ago, which means we've done this now like 55 or 60 times, is every week in our group we do free beans for kind words. And all of you who've been with us for a long time, you know what we're talking about. For all of you new people, maybe you haven't seen it, every Friday we put up a post and we ask people in our group to nominate other people. You can't nominate yourself. To nominate other people who more often than not are strangers, people that they don't know personally, who gave a great comment or a nice post or a great piece of advice that helped you with your extract question. And so every Friday you can nominate those people, and then we go through every Sunday all those nominations, and we look at all the people who have been nominated, and we select from that list of nominees someone to win free beans for the week. And we've been doing this now for, it's over a year. It's probably 55, 60 weeks that we've done this. And it's a tradition now. We're going to keep doing it. It's been wonderful. Are we getting some fun comments here?
Oh, I'm just looking here.
Yeah, and so we want to announce our winner this week of Free Beans for Kind Words. We had so many wonderful nominees, and we could list you all. But this week, our winner of Free Beans for Kind Words, who was nominated by many people, one of which was Mark Lally. Thank you, Mark, for nominating him. Our very own Alan Clavo. Alan, I hope I pronounced that correct. Clavo? I think it's Clavo. Alan, thank you. Thank you. You get nominated regularly. You're so talented. You're helpful.
You
Your
are very
feedback is
helpful.
good. You're
Yeah.
very smart. You're a great extract maker. He has great questions. You've got a lot of extracts going. Alan's a guy in the group you can listen to, and he just has great advice and feedback. And he's just super kind and nice. So Alan, thank you for embodying this week what our group is all about. And Mark, thank you for nominating Alan. Without nominations, we can't recognize these great people. So come back every week, make sure you nominate someone so we can recognize those people for their kindness. So Alan, congratulations. We'll get some free beans out to you right away. Alan, congratulations on being this week's winner of free beans for kind words. Okay, now, jumping ahead, we're going quick because we're already halfway done and we've still got some fun things to go through. So, based on Michelle Pagetta, right?
Michelle Pagetta is a sweetheart. Man, I love that girl. She's always on our group helping people and just encouraging them and always just sweet, just welcoming our new people. And she always is sharing what she's coming up with. So I wanted to highlight her here and use this try this extract that she has shared with us.
So you guys are getting so creative and talented. When we started this group, I didn't think that we'd be here in a year doing extracts that include blueberries and cinnamon and vanilla beans. And I mean, the amount of creativity that is coming out of this group with these extracts that are being invented sort of regularly is spectacular. We're just trying to keep up and we're trying to capture all of it. Our blog captures a lot of them. And so we're super excited to try this one today.
Yeah. Okay. So her recipe is that you cut the beans. And I like to cut my beans open because I love to see the little seeds of the vanilla in there. I think it adds to the look of it. I think it speeds up the process just a titch. So I cut them all, but I did see a comment of someone asking about tying the beans. All you do, it's just like you tie them in a knot. You twist it.
And the goal is to just shorten it.
That's all it is. You just twist it and shorten it, and I can just put that in there like that, and it's actually the same height as the ones that are cut. So if you want to save some of the caviar, but you still want some of those seeds, do half and half.
So how many beans was this again?
This is half an ounce. So
half an ounce of beans.
My package had 1 ounce, so I'm only going to put half in here. Okay. Then she wants to add 1 cinnamon stick.
So when I hear that, people might say, well, hey, don't you need a whole ounce for the amount of spirits? But what Michelle's going for here is more of a blueberry taste with a vanilla accent, which is different. So you don't need necessarily, when you're doing something like this, the full 1 ounce of beans for 8 ounces of spirits. Vanilla is being used as a highlight.
Yes, and also there's a lot of displacement because you have, all the beans, the cinnamon stick, and then we're going to add 1 ounce of freeze-dried berries. So there's quite a bit of space that will be filling up in this bottle of all these 3 different ingredients, which takes the space of the actual spirits that we're going to be putting in.
So Lori Lanford, hi Lori, just commented, I had the absolute pleasure of being able to taste Michelle's blueberry buckle, and it is absolutely outstanding. Way to go, Michelle, on your creativity. Lori, that's great. I can't wait to try this.
I know!
So that's awesome. So there you go.
Thank you, Lori.
Don't take it from us. Take it from one happy person in our group.
That's right.
That's easy.
So I'm just putting in 1 ounce of freeze-dried blueberries here. Okay, just sliding those suckers in, using my hand.
Slide these suckers in. We recommend calling the blueberries suckers. Talk to your food as you're putting it in, right?
I do.
We
Don't
do.
you?
We get those suckers in there.
You just don't understand. Okay, so she says to add them in this order. So you're going to add the beans, the cinnamon stick, the blueberries, and then you're going to
Oh, I
add...
can see why, right? Because if you put the blueberries in on the bottom and then you're putting the beans in, beans are going to stick up. So that's why you got to put the beans in first, because they'll keep the blueberries will keep the beans out.
That's right. So
Brilliant.
Lastly,
Great tip. Thank you.
we're putting in vodka. Now she said that she uses a vodka that she gets from Sam's. I think whatever vodka you like would probably be okay here.
Vodkas are such a safe spirit. A Sam's Club vodka is great. Again, in Utah, we can't get Sam's or Costco vodkas. They don't sell them. We can only get it out of the liquor store. We're using here a Smirnoff, just a basic Smirnoff vodka, which we've used in the past, had a lot of success with. It's a great vodka.
So she says use 12 ounces of vodka. when I did it earlier, it was about the same as just filling the jar. With all the displacement, this is a 16-ounce jar, so the space filled about, close to 4 ounces.
There you go.
Look how beautiful
oh
that
my
is.
gosh.
It's beautiful purple. Okay, you have to show them what this looks like.
We almost need to we'll put this in the window because it's so.
I don't know if they can see it in the window. Maybe
right.
show them.
I'm ready. Ready? We're going to do a close-up. We'll bring it in. This is the way we do close-ups.
It is beautiful.
I hope you can see it in some daylight behind it, but
wouldn't that be just the cutest
there
gift?
it is.
Maybe for Easter.
Yeah, this would be fun.
So colorful.
The blueberries rise. The blueberries float to the top. The beans sink to the bottom. That's okay. Just keep the jar filled and the cap on, and the blueberries will be just fine.
Well, there's other steps here.
Oh, we're not done.
We're not done.
There we go.
You let this sit for 4 weeks, and then she says that you need to take out the berries and the cinnamon and strain those out, and then put the beans and the extract and the spirits back in. Leave the cinnamon out, but put a new 1 ounce blueberries, amount of the blueberries. You want to put
a second round.
Brand new blueberries in for the second round.
These are freeze-dried blueberries, and the fruit extracts really fast, which is the reason why they start deteriorating.
Yes.
So they lose their value pretty quickly. So clean out the old, put in the new.
Put in the new.
Put in the new little suckers.
That's right. I love you. So, but she says that if you let this sit for 2.5 months, it will be perfect. She did try it a little earlier, and she said it wasn't quite right. So another 2.5 months. So total, this is about 3.5 months, and she said it was ready to go. And she said it was something like grandma's homemade cobbler, blueberry cobbler, and that sounds really good to me.
That would be
I think
wonderful.
I want to try that.
Totally.
And this really would be good on, you could do this in pancakes and cookies and cakes and all kinds of stuff.
Just
You
so
can
many
use
uses.
this. Yes.
So that
It
is
so
going to be
pretty.
wonderful.
It would be a really cute gift.
Can you use frozen blueberries? It's a good question. I know that you can use fresh. I know freeze-dried is often preferred because it's fully dried and very concentrated and extracts a little faster.
Well, and there's less water content.
Less water content.
I have seen people use the frozen. I think I've seen them that they let them thaw a little bit and let some of that juice come through because most of it's water, and then they put it in. But the dried fruit, the freeze-dried, you don't have to worry about that water content.
Yep. What a creative recipe. Michelle, that already is just beautiful. And I'm thinking
gorgeous.
All these other things we could do with different kinds of fruit. I mean, with the strawberries or others, we're kind of at the beginning of doing a lot of fun things here.
Yes, right? We are. And you're gonna keep it in a cool, dark place. I'm kind of sad about that because it's so pretty. I kind of want to put it out so I can see it. But you need to keep it in a cool, dark place, just like you do your vanilla, so it can extract and get going.
Hannah asked, could you do this with freeze-dried apples? I bet you could.
Yes.
And if you like the taste of apples, give it a shot.
Yeah.
And when you do, let us know the recipe, and let's make sure we share it with the whole group so everyone can learn from it. That's awesome.
So again, this is on our website. It's called the Blueberry Buckle.
The Blueberry Buckle by Michelle Pagetta.
Michelle Pagetta. And so if you want to know the specifics, and you know what I love about this? It's just clean and simple. There are not a lot of ingredients in this. You know exactly what's in it. It's not really busy, a lot of things. There's really no sugar or any weird things added. It's just clean and simple, and you get to decide what you want to add to it.
Someone asked if the color of the blueberries will get into what you're cooking. It probably will.
Yeah.
You're using a small amount, right? The goal of extract making is to get maximum concentration of sweetness out of that 1 teaspoon of fluid. And so it's a small teaspoon, but you're probably going to get the blueberry color. So if you're using it like in a white frosting, you might get a little bit of color change coming from the blueberry.
What am I going to do with these extra beans here? I'll probably put it in another jar and start another jar of vanilla.
There you go. Might as well. We have our jar here that has been going forever. These are the ones that we use at home. We always have one that we're using.
Yeah, that's
what
on
one
the
is this?
counter. This is, well, it's actually a mixture between Madagascar and Mexican. With rum.
With rum.
Yeah.
And we love these bottles, the size, the neck's open, and then we use these pouring spouts that are normally used for olive oil. They work perfect in this kind of bottle for clean pouring onto the teaspoon. It's really fun.
I'm just about ready to, my beans will start showing and we'll have to take those out, but We go through too much vanilla.
We go through a lot of vanilla. We might have a problem.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. So Michelle, thank you. How fun is that? So should we talk cognacs and brandies?
Yes.
This has been, I love it when, the group asks questions because it gives us the chance to do some research and to dive in to these different things. Really quick, before I jump ahead, let's make sure that there were no questions we left unanswered. It looks like, by the way, thanks to all of you that are answering questions and posting links and helping our group members. It's just wonderful.
You always help each other.
You
That's
do.
just what our group is about.
There were some questions about vodka proof. Can it be 70? It needs to be 70 proof's good. 35% alcohol is minimum. It looks like all these questions are getting answered.
And you can do dehydrated blueberries as well.
Yeah. Very good. Let's jump in. Cognacs and brandy. So not only are we sort of expanding our extract style by leaving vanilla beans and adding now fruits, and who knows what we'll be extracting a year from now. We just did blueberries, right? We didn't think we'd be doing that a year ago. So we're experimenting with different things that we can mix with our vanilla beans to make great extracts. We're also always experimenting with different spirits. And brandy and cognac have been two spirits that we've talked about. We've never made extract with it. We're excited. We're going to make our very first extract today with the brandy and cognac. But people have asked, what's the difference? And, we're learning with you. And so I always say when we're giving kind of advice and feedback, we're maybe 3 weeks ahead in some Google searching and researching. And we typically will go out and do some taste tests and nose tests and figure things out to find what works best. And then we share what we learn with the group, and we all kind of get smarter with extracting together. So, brandies and cognacs. Do you remember when we did the difference between bourbon and whiskey? And there's the old saying that all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon, because bourbon is a whiskey that has its own defining characteristics. Well, the exact same is true with brandy and cognac. All cognac is brandy, but not all brandy is cognac. Mm-hmm. So let's start very high level. What are the differences? Brandy taste. This is what we have sort of experienced and discovered. Brandy is typically, it's going to be much sweeter than whiskey. So if you're comparing it with a bourbon or a whiskey, it's going to be much sweeter than a whiskey. It still is a little smoky, unlike some rums. So it's a different kind of sweet. Mm-hmm. Its sweetness in brandy is very flowery.
Fruity.
Mm-hmm. Like both fresh fruit and dried fruit. Uh-huh. Sometimes you can tease out like apricots and things like that, like a fresh fruit, but then often
pears and apples.
Right, dry. And so you get all of that in brandy. It is great. Brandy is great for floral vanilla beans like our Karima beans, the Tahitensis beans from Papua New Guinea, our Tahiti beans. They're great for that. The Ecuadorian beans, the Hawaiian beans.
Ecuadorians with that apricot tone.
Oh man, those would all be great pairings with a fruity brandy. Now cognac, let's talk about cognac. It's very similar to brandy, but it has, they call it exclusive flavors that are sweet, spicy, and fruity, and sometimes even a little bitter. So with a cognac, fruity beans like the ones we've described might be great, but a Sri Lankan bean could be amazing with a cognac. A Mexican bean with that spicy vanilla kick could be really good. All of those would be good mixtures with the cognac. So then what's the difference between the brandy and the cognac? Well, here's the difference. This is what makes cognac, and it sets itself apart from brandy. And this was so fascinating. So first off, cognac must come from a distilled white wine. The grapes come from white wine. They have to come from one of 6 different regions in the southwestern part of France called the Cognac region. So if you're buying cognac, you're getting grapes that are only grown in this little tiny region of France. And a lot of you will know this already, a lot of you may not. The 2 most popular grapes, are you ready? I've been practicing my French. The Ugni Blanc grapes, that's French for Ugni Blanc. And then the Grand Champagne grapes are the 2 most coveted grapes of cognac. So cognac, kind of like bourbon, where bourbon's required to be 51% corn, cognac's required to have grapes from a certain region to make sure that it sort of is defined. So you always get the same thing with cognac. There's different regions within the cognac region where grapes are grown, but it kind of defines what cognac is, and there's different versions of.
Well, it's very consistent. You know what you're getting.
Yes. So cognac must be diluted twice. It must use copper pot stills for distilling, which has a big impact on its taste. It must be distilled in French oak barrels for a minimum of 2 years. So it has to sit in French oak barrels for a minimum of 2 years. That's a big deal. Brandies can use American oak barrels, which typically come from bourbon manufacturers. So brandies will often have a hint of bourbon from the wood, right? This is very interesting. At Hennessy, which is one of the upscale, nice cognacs that you get here in the States, they have a committee of 7 people that do tastings every day. They do 40 tastings, 40 tastings a day, and they're only allowed to do the tastings from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm sorry, this was so fascinating to me.
It sounds funny.
My inner geek is totally coming out right now, but they're only allowed to do tastings from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. They'll taste 40 different samples. It takes 10 years to be trained to become a professional taster at Hennessy to approve it. Okay, so now it's all done. The cognac's done, comes from that region. Brandy can come from America. It can come from anywhere in the world. It can use any kind of fruit. It can use grapes. It can be anywhere.
It's like the wild, wild west.
It is wild, wild west of sweet spirit making. So brandy, wild, wild west.
Well, cognac. We need to try to make our own brandy.
We should. We could. Utah brandy. Cognac is like the buttoned up. You come from France, buttoned up. Okay?
Hoity-toity.
But a very good and a very distinct taste, right? So here's the thing. You look on the bottle, you're going to see different things. So after the taste test of the 7 judges, it is labeled V.S, which stands for very special, which means that it's ready to go to market and it can be sold. So we have a Hennessy very special 2-year-old cognac right here that is been approved by the 7 testers. It waited for 2 years and it's ready to go. Then you can have another level of of cognac, where it is defined as very special old pale, which is VSOP. And that means the youngest brandy or cognac in the blend is 4 years old. And then you have the XO, which is extra old, which means the youngest brandy or cognac in the finished blend is a minimum of 6 years old. Okay? It's kind of like the tequilas. You have like the silver, and then you've got the reposado, and then you've got the añejo. They do the same thing with brandy. You've got the 2-year-old, very special. You have the 4-year-old, very special old pale, and then you have the 6-year-old, extra old with the XO. So here we go. What does it all mean now? I'm going to sum it all up in terms of how to choose. So we would think that the XO is going to be the finest cognac or the finest brandy that's out there. So we went and looked for some XOs. If you want to get an XO cognac in America, at least in Utah, the ones that were available at the liquor store this week were like $250 for a 750 milliliter bottle, which was that would be a very expensive vanilla extract. And for those of you that love cognac, you may want to give it a try.
Sure, if you like to drink cognac, then you can drink it and put it in your vanilla. If
you want to go into brandy, well, you can get this big bottle here from an American brandy manufacturer called E&J XO. So it's an extra old, 6 years, goes through the same taste testing protocols as cognac does. This was $29 in Utah this week because it comes from the States.
That's a pretty good deal.
Right, that's a really good deal. So then you're wondering which one is better and which one's best for you. So here's where we started. We said for our vanilla extract, we want to use like a really nice cognac. And then we got there and we're like, no, I don't want to spend $250 on a vanilla. That didn't make a lot of sense. We didn't think we'd use it ever. And so we bought a couple of very special old pale cognacs at a reasonable price.
Yes.
And then we bought a couple of brandies at a very reasonable price. We brought them home and we said, let's do a taste test and a smell test.
Yes.
And here's what happened. First, we'll replay it here. So we've got the Hennessy very special old pale. So it's a 4-year-old cognac. It's beautiful. We smelled it. When you smell it, it's a beautiful smell. It's definitely grape, so it kind of smells like a wine. Like it's kind of like spirits that are in like a sherry cask. So you can tease out a lot of those floral sweet notes.
I already smell vanilla in there.
There's a little bit of vanilla, kind of a hint of vanilla, and so we thought this is it. This is what we're going to make the extract with. Then we opened this one up, which is also a VSOP. So it's a 4-year-old brandy, an American brand, a lot less expensive than the Hennessy. And this is what we did. We opened it and oh my heavens. So there is so much going on inside of that brandy. There's apple, there's vanilla cream, there's caramel, there's grapes, There's so much happening within this brandy.
Yes.
We got really excited and we changed our minds.
Yep.
We're now going to make this extract out of a brandy, an American brandy, instead of a cognac.
Yep.
Now we'll probably still make a cognac just so we can compare the two a year from now. But for this group, we just want to let you know, price doesn't mean anything when you're looking at spirits. Everyone's like, do I have to spend the most? You don't. You really don't. Like in our case, we did a little bit of research and we found these American brandies really smell good, and we're so excited about the extract that's going to come out.
Yeah, there's so much going on in here. I can't wait to see the end product.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's fruity again, and so we're going to stick with the fruitier beans. So we thought, do we use like a Karima? Do we use a Ecuadorian, a Tahiti, a Sri Lanka? What do we want to get? And we decided that the Karima bean would be the best. And then since this is a first extract for us in a totally different spirit, we wanted to commemorate this, and we want to put our extract in this bottle. And there are a few of you that are watching right now, you know who you are. At Christmas time this year, we received this package from some of you wonderful, amazing group members who we just love. Thank you. You know who you are. They sent us this beautiful decanter. It's gorgeous. It's a 24-ounce decanter. On it, you probably can't see it, but it's our Vanilla Pura logo. Jill and Paul, established in 2016 with this embossed vanilla bean and flower on it. It is absolutely gorgeous. And
what a personal gift.
Seriously,
really,
we just love you guys. So that just kind of made our holidays great. We were so happy to get that. So we wanted to use this decanter to make our first ever extract using a brandy. So what beans did we select?
The Karima.
We're using the Karima beans because they're very fruity, and we thought it would blend well.
But this would be good with Ecuadorian as well.
Oh, it would be good with Ecuadorian, Tahiti, Sri Lanka, some of the Hawaiian, Tongan. Those would all be great. I'll give you an update on Tonga too here in a minute. So what did we do? Did we cut them or leave them?
I cut some of them because again, I like to see the pretty little speckles in my vanilla. It helps it go a little quicker. But I also, the bottle was so pretty, I wanted to kind of keep the beans whole, just so I could see how pretty they are. Because how pretty is that in my jar that I just love?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and so I just wanted to be able to keep the whole beans.
And it's a 24-ounce jar, so we just do the math. You need 1 ounce of beans for you new people, 1 ounce of beans for every 8 ounces of spirits. So where this is 24 ounces, we used 3 ounces of beans. Now, the beans will obviously displace the spirit, so we're going to end up using less than 24 ounces. We still use 3 ounces of beans because it just gets a little closer to double fold, and it's additional sweetness.
Fold, but it's a little bit more on the vanilla side, which is never bad.
Never bad. So, by the way, the XO, the extra old brandy, we like that as well. But again, we like the very special Old Pale, which is 1 tier down. We thought there was more going on in this than there was even in the XO. For those of you asking, this brand, it's called E, the letter E, and the letter J, E and J. And it's an American brandy. It's wonderful. So we're just going to go ahead and pour it in here.
Okay.
Whoops.
Somebody asked, does it matter the color of the jars? I think when we were doing our blueberry, it doesn't. You can do, some people use the darker jars if they want to keep them out in the open more, but you can always just use regular glass bottles and we put them in a dark place.
It's coming out there.
I'm going to have to lift that off my fingers.
Yeah. I see someone, I'm trying to watch these comments and I'm pouring brandy all over Jill's fingers here because I'm looking at comments and I'm trying to pour it. You should never do. Extract making is a very dangerous hobby if you're not careful. You might get brandy. I know, all over your fingers. But I see there's a discussion happening about scotch. It's like, oh man, are we going to go down another rabbit hole?
Oh no, don't get into scotch.
So,
that's another day.
That's another day. Great questions. Here's the thing with spirits, though, and here's kind of our end piece of advice. So there's a couple things. So I told you the name of the brandy that we found that's really good and affordable. Let's close that.
How beautiful is that?
How beautiful is that?
I mean, look at those vanilla. I do.
Let's do a close-up so everyone can see it. This is such a beautiful gift. Thank you for those of you that got together to send this to us. That is just so pretty.
It is gorgeous.
And when you put the brandy in there and the color with the beans, I
I don't want to put it in a dark place.
It is absolutely
I'm going to
beautiful.
put it out on our desk so we see it.
Yes, and that's beautiful. So we'll end on this as it relates to spirits, and we've only got 6 minutes left, and we're going to finish on time as we always do. With spirit tasting, for those of you that drink alcohol, we've got a lot of you that you're very familiar with all of these things. For many of you, this review of Brandy and Cognac, you know, you've been there and you've done that. If there's a spirit that you enjoy and that you believe in your tastings would be great with vanilla, use that spirit. So if you have a scotch that's sweet, as someone was saying, we've never done it with scotch, but if you have a scotch that's sweet and you want to try it, if you like the spirit, odds are you're going to really like the extract. That's just the rule of thumb. So, you know, you can get together with friends like, you know, we'll do sometimes, and if someone's really interested in a cognac and someone's really interested in a brandy, then you can both go get them. Come together and have like a little tasting and see which one you like more and try things out and go with a spirit that you like. Any spirit that you like and that you've already tasted and you enjoy is going to be great with your vanilla extract. Go with it. For those of you that don't drink, there's many people in our group that don't drink alcohol and they don't know how to choose. There is so much research available online. We've tried to gather as much as we can. We've put it on vanillapura.com. There's more research, obviously, outside of Vanilla Pura. We're not fully comprehensive, but we've got a lot.
We do, and we actually have a chart that kind of puts them in different areas.
Our beans,
the beans, and a whole section on different spirits. So if you're wondering, if you don't drink alcohol, you don't know much about it, go to our website. There's a lot of information there.
There's a lot. And so research it and you'll see. And so you'll read things online about brandies being sweet and apple and caramel. And this particular brandy that we used, in its description, it actually says that, this is what it says from the back. It has warm, inviting flavors of vanilla cream, maple, and old sherry. So even if you don't drink, you read the labels. When you open the bottle, just smell it. And if you like what's happening in the spirit, you're going to like it in the brandy. So just do some research online. You can see the safest extract to begin with, again, is always vodka, which is largely tasteless, and a Madagascar bean, which is traditional. But then this is what happens as you get down into the rabbit hole. We just finished an hour-long show, and we're doing vanilla and blueberries and mocha and brandies and cognacs. And someone asked about tequila. We did a tequila in our last show. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see the tequila review and the different kinds of tequila. Like, we are so down the rabbit hole.
It's so fun.
And it's so fun because we get to do it with all of you. So, so we hope that this was helpful. So, can you use brandy and can you use cognac? The answer is yes, you can. How good are they? Well, this is our first. Come back in a year because we're going to crack that open and we're going to do our taste test and we're going to see how good it is.
Or you could try Soviet.
Yep, and both brandies and cognacs, in this case, they were both 40% alcohol, so they were right within the right alcohol range. That's an important thing. Just make sure that the percent alcohol is at least 35% or greater, typically not greater than 50-55%. Then you start hurting the beans. So make sure your alcohol content in the spirit that you choose is okay. Other than that, if you like the smell, if you like the taste, if you like what you've researched online, try it. Go for it. Share it with us. We'll get it up on the site. We'll share it with the group. We will all be smarter because you tried something new and you shared it.
Yep.
Wow. Whew. How was that? Was that good? I hope we were helpful today. Was that a good show? Did we get everybody, did we fill your cup?
We filled a lot of things.
We filled a whole lot of things. And so we hope that these live events are substantive and that you learn some things and they're fun as well.
And we get to interact with you. It's our way of kind of being with you guys. It's still being, wherever you are, we can be together.
We can always be together virtually.
And that's what the group is about, right?
That's exactly it. I mean, that's it. It's like our vanilla family. So we hope that this was helpful. We're still going to give away some vanilla beans. We see that there's some people that maybe missed the time and they're just now getting here. We repost everything to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search for Vanilla Pura, one word. You'll see our channel. Every single show is there. And then we take our shows and we cut them up into little pieces. So if you just want to see like tequila, if it was part of a bigger show, or like if you just want to see brandy in the future, we'll just have that little snippet so you can just watch about brandy and cognac. So we try to make it easier for you to access information, as we go forward. So
if you want to watch the whole show, it'll be on the group.
It'll be in the group. We always save it to the group so you can watch a replay there, and then you can go to our YouTube channel later. This will all be on YouTube, usually within about a week.
Okay, winners.
We've got 1 minute. Are we ready for our top 10 contributors as defined by Facebook? We're going to send all of you free 1 ounce of vanilla beans. Many of you have received some beans before, and so we might send them some special beans this time. If there's maybe a bean they haven't had yet, like one of our new ones, like a Popendetta or a Karima, we might do something like that. I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
And so our number one contributor over the last 28 days. Oh, thank you.
We never start with number one.
We never start with number one. So sorry, number one. You're going to have to wait. Okay, number 10, Mary Elizabeth Turberg. Mary!
Oh, Mary,
thank you.
Welcome back. Mary's sweet. She's always helping on the group.
Always. Congratulations, Mary. 3 beans coming your way. Number 9.
Bonnie Foskey.
Bonnie Foskey.
Another group member who's always helpful in helping people, and she's always posting new stuff that she's doing. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie. Number 8, Christina Gillis. Christina, congratulations.
Christina's new.
She's new, but not to our group. She has been a huge part of our group for a long time. Christina, thank you for all your contribution. Kathy Donaldson, next on the list. Kathy, thank you so much.
Kathy is always sweet to welcome everyone. Even if they have a question, there's a ton of comments. She will always be there. Like, I know these questions have been answered, but I still want to just welcome you.
There you go.
Welcome. Thank you.
Jeanette Longy, number 6.
Jeanette's new to our top 10 list.
Welcome, Jeanette. Beans are coming your way. Number 5, Krista Howard. Krista, I think Krista had some beans break or some extracts this week, and someone messaged us and said, can you please send Krista some beans, because that's just the way this group works.
Oh.
So Krista, even more beans coming your way to hopefully make up for those extracts that fell and broke this last week. That's just, I can't imagine. After waiting all that time, can't imagine. So more free beans coming your way. Number 4, Roxanne Young. We love Roxanne. We've seen you here today in the group.
She also is always helping.
Yeah, so thank you, Roxanne. Number 3, Doreen Brown. Doreen, welcome to the club.
She's new to the top 10. Welcome.
Yeah, top 3. So Doreen, thank you and welcome, and thanks for your contribution. We're so glad to have you, all your help and feedback. Good having you in the group. Okay, number 2, our very own Debbie Perry Thomas. Debbie Perry Thomas, I can hear Debbie's voice when she writes. Because she writes and has kind of like, she just writes in a way that I can hear her sweet voice come through her writing. And so Debbie, congratulations, more beans coming your way. We love Debbie. It is so endearing.
It is.
And then our number 1, who I tried to announce like 3 minutes ago, but Jill stopped me.
I know, I have to let it just simmer a little.
The number 1 person in the last 28 days is Lori Lanford. Lori, we love you. Thank you. Thanks for your contribution, for all that you do. Everyone here, when we go through these top 10 names, I'm assuming that everybody in this group says, yep, I know them. Yep, I've heard of them. Yep, I know exactly who they are because they answered my question or helped me. That's the reason that they're on the list. We're just so lucky to have you and everyone else.
Well, the encouragement that Lori gives, like a lot of times people are discouraged. Did I do this right? Oh no, this is wrong. And she's always there to like, calm down everybody on the group and say it's all going to be okay. So thank you for all that calmness you bring to the group.
So thanks to all of you. As we're growing, we're just going to get sweeter. That's it. The more people, the greater the level of sweetness, and we're just going to get sweeter and sweeter as we keep growing, as we've been doing. We're going to keep recognizing all the people that help us contribute. Thanks for your ideas, your feedback. This all came from you and your ideas, so thank you. We're going to do this again in another month. We'll see you again. So thanks for coming into our home, spending a Sunday afternoon with us for an hour and 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. We just love getting to know you and communicating with you and having you in our family, our Big Vanilla family.
Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I can't wait to see what you're baking.
Happy Valentine's Day and happy Super Bowl Sunday next Sunday. We won't get into who you're rooting for in this show, but I hope whoever you're rooting for wins. And either way, make sure you eat lots of good food on Super Bowl Sunday because that's what it's all about.
That's right. Well, take care.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.